Here are 4 reasons why Charlotte Flair won the Women's Rumble match, and 4 reasons why Drew McIntyre won the Men's. Charlotte, to make up for her terrible 2019. In WWE, Charlotte Flair has consistently had an impressive time in the company, but it's safe to say that 2019 wasn't a good year for the Queen. While she would make history as one of the 3 women as part of the first female main event in WrestleMania, the Queen would be on the losing end of the match, and perhaps even worse, wasn't even part of the decision. Similarly, the Queen would capture the SmackDown Championship on 3 occasions in the year, but each one of these reigns would last less than a week, with her shortest ending the very same day it began at Money in the Bank. Out of her total 11 appearances on pay-per-view and network specials in 2019, the Queen racked up just 3 wins, gaining victories at Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and Hell in a Cell, but losing at major shows like the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and Survivor Series. Having Flair win the Women's Royal Rumble was an effective way to re-establish her as a credible threat on Monday Night Raw, and fans know that the talented superstar could be earning her 11th Women's Championship in a matter of weeks. McIntyre, because he's finally going to become a world champion. From the moment Drew McIntyre walked into WWE, both fans and those backstage saw him as a future world champion. Even on his SmackDown debut in 2009, Mr. McMahon himself referred to Drew as such, but what followed wasn't exactly according to plan. Instead of a main event run, McIntyre became a mid-carder and quickly slid down the card in the coming years before his 2014 release as a part of 3MB. Since returning in 2017, though, the Scottish superstar has consistently proven that he can work main event programs, and it seems that hard work has finally paid off. Now, McIntyre has the look, the skills, and the evidence that he can be a world champion, and thankfully it seems like WWE are finally ready to pull the trigger on the former NXT champion. Charlotte, because she'll become WWE's biggest female star. Charlotte Flair has only been on the WWE's main roster for less than 5 years, but the Queen has made her time count. After capturing the NXT Women's title in the developmental brand, Flair would later capture the Divas Championship, retiring the title at WrestleMania 32 to become the first Raw Women's Champion. Holding both the Raw and SmackDown Women's titles for a total of 10 title reigns, it's clear that the company see Flair as a top star, akin to her legendary father. Having the Queen win the historic 30-woman match only adds another accolade to Charlotte's career, which is already Hall of Fame worthy, and fans shouldn't be too surprised if Flair adds the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, or even the 24/7 Championship, to her trophy cabinet over the coming years. McIntyre, because the fans and the company needed it. McIntyre is over with the WWE crowd, and arguably is the most over superstar on the entire Raw roster. In a time where seemingly every superstar has their share of detractors, very few speak out against the Scotsman, and more importantly than that, WWE knows he's over. With AEW consistently on the rise, the WWE needs to make sure that what they do is in the interest of the fans, and sometimes that means giving the fans exactly what they want. It's no secret that choosing the wrong person to win the Royal Rumble can have truly damaging effects to a star's career. Just ask Roman Reigns, and this time, WWE have seen that the person both they and the fans wanted to see win aligned. McIntyre's victory will hopefully silence the fans who hail the WWE with claims of never giving the fans what they want, and if the company acts carefully, McIntyre could indeed be the star who helps heal old wounds between WWE and the fans. Charlotte, because the fans expected Shayna. Though many fans expected the Queen to win this year's Women's Royal Rumble, she wasn't the only favorite going into the match. It can be argued that the odds-on favorite for the 30-woman contest was NXT's Shayna Baszler, as fans expect a feud between her and Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, especially after their encounter at Survivor Series 2019. When the Queen of Spades entered the match from number 30, many fans assumed that Baszler's victory was guaranteed, which may be exactly why Charlotte got the win. Though the idea of swerving the fans just for the sake of it may seem ridiculous, fans know that the WWE aren't afraid of doing this idea, and have done so in the past. While this swerve may not have gone down well with fans, it doesn't mean that the Queen of Spades won't face the man at WrestleMania, as there's plenty of time between now and the showcase of the Immortals. McIntyre. Because it couldn't be Roman. Going into the Men's Rumble match, many fans had Roman Reigns as their favorite to win. Since returning from his battle with leukemia, WWE have wisely kept Roman away from the title picture, as they don't want a repeat of how the crowd reacted to him before his hiatus. With that said, there may be a time when Roman is returned to the title picture, but doing so could risk the fans once again turning on the big dog. Giving McIntyre the win ensures that at least one Men's World Championship won't have the big dog be a part of the chase, and though some fans may still loathe Reigns for the booking he received 2 years ago, they can't exactly claim he's hogging the title picture. Charlotte. To get revenge on Bayley. We've mentioned that Charlotte Flair had a relatively terrible 2019 by her own lofty standards, but one star who had a great year was Bayley. In February, the Boss 'n' Hug Connection became the first WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, while later in the year, Bayley would capture both the Money in the Bank contract and the SmackDown Women's title on the same night. Turning heel over the summer, Bayley would capture the SmackDown title for the second time and would even break the record for the longest reign with the blue and white title. Fans may remember that both of Bayley's SmackDown Women's title wins came at the expense of Flair, meaning that the Queen will no doubt be hell-bent on getting revenge. If the WWE are able to pull it off, then a Bayley-Charlotte feud could definitely be one of the highlights of WrestleMania 36, especially given the talent of both women. McIntyre. Because it'll be Brock vs. Drew at WrestleMania. The opening half of the Men's Royal Rumble match was dominated by Brock Lesnar, and for good reason. Entering at number 1, the reigning WWE Champion made sure everyone in his path was dispatched of, with everyone from MVP to Braun Strowman sent packing over the top rope. Ultimately, it'd be a low blow by Ricochet and a Claymore by McIntyre that would see Lesnar eliminated, but as the Beast hobbled away, Drew kept his eyes firmly on the champion. Having Brock face McIntyre at WrestleMania is a match few of us would have ever expected just a few years ago, but now it seems to already be a Match of the Year candidate. McIntyre's win at the pay-per-view has guaranteed him a title shot at WrestleMania, and given how few and far between Brock's title defenses are, expect these two to collide on the grandest stage of them all. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, you might also like this other video, 10 WWE superstars you didn't know won secret Royal Rumbles,